Alright, so I've got another game of Warno. I'm going to be playing as the 2nd Panzergren. Again, I play as them a lot, mostly because I despise the Grads that are constantly spammed from the packed side. So I try to hunt them a lot. And the LARS system, which I think is Light Artillery Rocket System, it's one of the few things that can actually hit the Grads quick enough. It's got a short enough aim time and it puts enough shots downrange fast enough to catch them before they move, because that's one of the big pluses of the Grads. They definitely outclass the Lars, I would say. They shoot faster. I think they do more damage, and they also have better range. So in like every aspect, they're just better. So they can fire. I think they might even have a tighter spread, but definitely the shots land faster, and then they can leave. So you have to try to catch them towards the beginning of their salvo. So I'm just going to do a quick bit of deploying. I'm going to skip most of it, and then I'll get the sub windows up also. So I'm playing a lot of, or I'm using a lot of recon units, and I'm trying to just deploy them forwards so that I can grab some forward territory and like guard the flank, sort of, is my idea. And once I'm established, then I can get on to my true purpose in life, which is hunting down Grads. What is guided? Is that guided rocket artillery? But I don't know if that's the correct language. But anyways, so in the top right, I'm going to have actually a group of 4 Grads, and on the bottom right, I'll have my guys. The units that I'm going to be showing you. So we'll start out with a bunch of these. I think it's the scimitars. And let's go through. So you can see, actually they started off with only 1 rocket being shot. I don't know why, but usually they've got 4 of them lined up right there, and I don't see that rocket landing actually. I'm wondering. I mean, it is just 1 rocket, so it's not going to show up. And there they go. You can see them in the back. And landing, and yeah. Not the funnest of times, to be honest. So yeah, these are my recon units getting up, sort of. I mean, I guess the Milan's gotten up ahead of everything else. Yeah, I'm also going to try to show the aftermath of the Grad strikes. Probably won't cut them in too much. It's a little bit too much work. But yeah, see, some pretty substantial damage. So I'm getting this Milan set up to shoot down that road without being overexposed, getting all my recon dudes up to guard the forest and to provide sight for the Milan. I've been kind of messing with having a lot of I have a lot of videos recorded, but I think I accidentally deleted some, so I'm going to get try to keep up with my generation of the videos faster, so they'll be more up to date for one thing, and maybe start doing some smaller scale games. It's been I mean, the 10v10s are where you see, I think, more artillery in general, though. And so, since I do like shitting on the Grads, just because I find them annoying, 10v10s are a good way to go after. Good place to go after. So, anyways, I'm moving some guys over to the forest. I've got a little bit of anti-air. I'm going to move up the edge of the forest to spot something. There's almost certainly stuff either in the trees down the road or in those buildings by that transport truck. And the Grads are lining up again, so yeah, that's awesome. I will say that the trucks for the Grads look a lot jankier than the Lars trucks, but yeah, it doesn't really matter, but it is kind of funny. teammate in the middle here, or teammates, actually. Possibly, I mean. They have moved up quite a bit, which is really nice. Oh, now they are shooting. I see that. Yep, you can see all four of them lined up in the background shooting. I don't have anything to counter it yet, because I'm establishing myself. You want at least 2 large systems if you're trying to hunt the grads, because otherwise they don't shoot enough, and it's ever going to a teammate complaining about the 4 grads. Which is a lot of the deployment points that someone gets. I checked the deployment. Whoever it was, they did like 4 grads, 1 fob, and I think like 1 or 2 AA pieces, like Strelas or whatever. So not a whole lot. But they just continuously nuked our left the whole time. So I'm slowly working my way forward. I just want to be well established. Also, seeing the stuff on the mountain there, I'm pretty confident that there's going to be more. So now instead of buying my rockets, I decide to reinforce my force. I think I'm just barely actually going to miss that this helicopter I brought in. He gets shot down. Yeah, I see. So from the mountain, that would actually be a kind of cool view. I do want to try a game where I park AA on one of the mountains, because again, I think it'll be cool views. So, you know, we'll get there when we get there. That helicopter got destroyed, but my recon helicopter was just fine. I don't know if it's like barely out of range, or a lot of the times the units, they won't target a thing like the recon heli, so it's probably safe-ish for that reason. So yeah, I've had to throw all my points into shoring up the forest. On the left, you can see we're kind of getting pushed back because they just can't. Like 4 grads fired at the same spot, just they kind of delete everything. At best, a heavy tank can survive, but it won't be very effective in any sort of combat. So yep, working my way forward slowly, and like 1,000 craters already. And they're going to bring over a helicopter, so I'm going to push up my Fliggerfast at the Capard. There's a couple of MI8s also. And there go the grads again. So we got one of the helicopters. It's decent end result, I suppose. There's the Metis, and Metis. Tank gun. So these guys are just going to sit there and eat HE shells. Although I guess the Warno HE shells bounce, which is kind of funny. So yeah, there we go. They're gonna run out. They're gonna run back in. I'm gonna check the mountain. Starting now to send up the scimitars. I had waited because I was thinking that possibly the troops were being sent up along this kind of ridge of hilltops, right? But then I saw them coming in, and it seemed like they were coming across from further to our left. And this jet's going to lose sight, like right at the last second, not drop its bombs, and try to just circle around on the other side of the mountain. So it's in its confusion, it hurt itself, because now it's going to fly over all of the drop on the left. So instantly gone. There we go. But I've got troops now in the woods. and put off buying the rocket artillery because I'm going to help shore up the left side now because it is not doing great. So I've kind of also got defense in depth set up on my side, and my concerns people above me, right? So I guess the one thing I will do with the older videos is there was less desync caused by the corpse mod that I made a few updates back. So I've got better footage from that, actually. Or I mean like usable footage, because it's not just against the AI. Oh, there we go, shooting again. So they think they've been so sneaky, but about 30 beats to me. And yeah, you can see that one, maybe not the most effective. Not a lot there, but those strikes are definitely upside down pretty hard. Maybe I'll do a quick cut there, just to show the map real quick. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So yeah, those two units got hit pretty hard, so we'll try to pull them away, try to save that recon helicopter. I mean, I know there's stuff in the woods already, so didn't really save them a whole lot. That is a heavier system. I think that's the Grad. They're a little bit angry at my AA. And now that they're starting to make their move forward, I'm going to be calling in even more reinforcements. Right? They're moving 21. Do we shoot it down? Actually, no. We do at least shoot it down. And on the left side, things are not great. So I'm going to be splitting troops between shoring up the back of the left side and my own area. Okay, those Spetsnaz are going to get destroyed. Oh, and we're making our move now. So got my 4 scimitars. We're pushing up because I saw a shot coming off from sort of the general area. Like the general area where I've told them to do the honey move. It is going to take my attention away for a little bit, but if I can kill, even if it's not the full 4 grads, but if I can kill off 4 grads, it will be very helpful for our team. Spot them, and this is, I guess, why it's nice that the scimitars are recon units. So the grads are pushing up, and then I guess the guy's gonna realize, like just about here, he stops. He's like, "Oh no!" There we go. There's one down, and 2. We're a little bit inaccurate here. And there's helicopters, and so I could have probably escaped here if I dropped him back, but I didn't. I just wanted to finish off the last one. I committed to trying to shoot down the helicopters, which these ones I didn't think were that useful or valuable, really, all things considered. Since helicopters, they die really fast if there's any amount of anti-air. And I was thinking I could maybe kill off another artillery unit. Although if I had been able to stun that one, it would have worked. I guess it did force them to call in another helicopter, which is a bit of a waste of points. For 2 helicopters even. And one of my teammates spotted saw that the fob was spotted, so they're gonna artillery it, blow it up with a howitzer. And then after I kind of neglected to micro the back area, they were pushing in while I was eating up the grads. So they did kill off some of my infantry because fire, but the downside of fire is you can't do anything to vehicles unless it's napalm. I guess they do have the reservists with the AT launchers, but they're not very accurate. And then again, all of my points going to be going into some reinforcements. There's a very unfortunately placed Conkers there. Oh yeah, and then we caught a leader on the mountainside, so that was very good. And then big artillery strike. There's not really much there anymore, I don't think, but I guess it's helpful. So, leader down, and then we got service, water. Those guys don't seem to have their AT launcher. I guess they ran out of ammo. Maybe they're scouting, or... Oh no, they just needed to be closer. But they're at least stunned. So I think we should get away here. Yeah. So altogether, pretty unsuccessful push there. Did make me dedicate more resources there than I would have liked, but we've at least stopped it from getting out of hand. And I'm actually going to leave up the bottom panel, just because then you can see, I guess, what units are there, which is interesting. Or at least until I have the next units called in. The next units we'll be following on the bottom right are the Lars. On the top, so the map stays up. And because my nemesis, the quad grad, is gone. Those guys in the woods are going to get demolished. Oh, although another 21. There's just so much random plane nonsense happening. Yeah, the MiG-23 made it out. But again, they're still like kind of too expensive to be very useful, I would say. And I get the better reinforcement route because they weren't able to cut off that road. So it'll be hard for them to build up enough forces to drive me out of the forest edge and out into the open. So we should be good there. So I'm going to start focusing a little bit more heavily on the left side since we need to shore it up. And then I'm also going to save up to get the Lars.
Be careful. Enemies nearby.
We did well in the middle initially, but we're getting pushed out of their zone, which we kind of need to hold on to in order to keep the points. I mean, not even neutral because they've fully capped our area on the left. Do not want to be part of that Zagat or Tyriad, whatever unit. Since they don't have any AT, I will push a martyr up to finish the job. Which, I mean, there could be more reservists than hidden in the woods, but not overly concerning for me. Obviously, since I rushed the martyr up there. I did bring up supply for the left side. Which is good. I don't actually know how many kills or any, if they got any, for those Milans, but, you know, they were at least shooting stuff. And that looks pretty promising. Kill a T-55, kill some IFVs maybe. Although they are gonna maybe kill off my, oh nope, now we're getting hit by artillery again, so not super. My IHawk, rather. My IHawk is also out of ammo, so I need to get supplied for that as well. But looking on the left, I don't know about that helicopter that's on the mountainside, if it's gonna do anything or if I notice it. And we lose a Milan too. It's really just kind of based on luck if the other one gets out at this point. Oh, so we've got a damaged Challenger on the left, but that's really it. It's a one-shot to like anything, and there's plenty of rockets coming in on us. So I'm gonna grab the two Lars systems, and we'll follow them from here on out in the bottom right. And that's me checking the range to see how far up I actually have to push them in order for them to be useful. And then we're gonna reinforce the force just to make sure nothing comes over the mountains again. And we've got another Grad launching on the left side, so, you know, it's very lovely. So they're on a +4. Why is that? I guess this back zone is worth more because we're ahead on the middle. Got the Fliegerfaust. Just needed it to hit there. That would have been so helpful. Or there. That also, you know, it would have been way better. But nope. Sort of bring a Gepard up in case they bring more helicopters. And another miss. So my Jaeger got killed off. If I'd hit one of those Fliegerfaust shots. Oh, now we hit one, of course. Oh, come on. Oh, they didn't even finish it off. The Akulas they're really expensive. That would have been a good one to get. And there's more artillery coming from their back lines, and we're back up into their area, which is at least going to decrease our ticket lead. And so I have to watch the forest. I'm maybe over-dedicated a little bit there, but I'll start helping push up on the other side. But then also I'm going to be shoring up this left side again. which is also going to make it a little bit more difficult for me to find targets to use the Lars on. Actually, the first strike is going to be on the town. And so I'm going to use these guys in the woods as kind of a picket. So if anything does come through, I mean, I might lose them, but I'll at least have some advanced warning, and that'll free me up to send more reinforcements towards my front or towards defending that left side. And so just for the sake of using the Lars, I'm gonna use them soon, I think. Oh, I'm on down. Ouch. So now we get to the point where we're kind of just, like, myself and other teammates just YOLOing stuff into the back here. And of course they've got artillery coming down on us. Okay, yeah, so that Mi-24 shot at my Leopard 1, so I'll move the Gepard over to try to take it out, or at least drive it off. You should be, oh no, I lost sight, so, and now this is going to be where I'm like, okay, I just gotta, you know, hit something, so, there we go. And then to guard the resupply area for the Lars, I'm gonna pull that, was it Jaeger? Yeah, and there's the very long salvo length of the Lars up for display. And now our little foothold is getting MLRS, so very good. So if I'd waited a little bit longer, I mean, I guess I could have then started the counter battery earlier. But let me get a round of resupply first. So now I'm gonna be pulling up more, some more significant reinforcements, and then, oh good, melting that Safari. Oh, there's more troops there actually than I had initially thought, so probably I'll be sending my next wave of reinforcements to the left side. Fight going on, very hectic. BTRs. Usually you don't see BTRs being very useful in the bigger team game, so that's kind of interesting that they're actually useful because everything else is, I think, destroyed. I'm not really sure what that supply helicopter was brought up for, but I appreciate the chance to destroy it. I mean, maybe it was for scouting, but at least it's not being sold off, so count that as a win, I suppose. So we won that little ATGM off, and now hopefully that little trio of units can get melted by autocannons. And yep, as I expected, they're trying something else on the mountain. Not really that much though, so not much of a problem. But they are still in our back zone, or second from the back, whatever. These attacks by the pack side to get back into the town here also, they would be great for if I could use the corpse mod for multiplayer, but alas, I cannot, so. Alright, so we lose one to the Conquerors. Oh my, I would have been disappointed if we missed all 3 shots on the Conquerors, but yeah, it's gone now. And now that one is also gone because they've gotten MI-24 AT. And I'm pushing up in a rather kind of, I guess, unfortunate angle. So if I'd waited just a little bit longer, could have maybe killed off that BMP too, but I didn't want to lose the majority of my small force there. And so now we've got a target for the Lars, and they're going to be shooting at it. And there's more stuff coming around from the back. So a lot more coming from the back actually, so I need to shore things up. So we're going to be calling in the tornado to bomb them and following the rocket strike. There we go. This was actually kind of funny. They were shooting from right next to the supply base, so I think a couple stray rockets of mine are actually going to hit it. I think the howitzer is going to kill off the actual artillery system. So, little impatience, they're going to lose. For a little impatience, they're going to lose all of their supply back. Just from that one fob, though, they've got another like 3 or so, but they have at least lost 1 or 2 actually at this point. Yeah, and we're not going to be winning against a T-80BV backed up by a gun and 2-ish helicopters, so I'm gonna back off. We will hit that guy. I think it's just a rocket helicopter, though. And yeah, there's just too much stuff here. I've got cluster shots coming in. Oh, that's from the bottom side. So the cluster shots, they're really good. They're really effective for counter battery, except for they're so slow that most things are going to move away, right? So, and then the Lars are actually using their machine guns right now a little bit to hit the Spetsnaz. So I thought I'd pull them over just to help a little bit since I don't have supply for them anyways. But I think the Spetsnaz is just too far into the woods for me. And oh, I guess they kind of panicked missiled their own area there, so that's kind of funny. Or panic rocketed. It's kind of funny. I mean, it was just a few martyrs, so not really a big threat realistically, although maybe they were a little discouraged, triggered by the loss of the 4 grads at once by my push from that kind of same general region. But I'll take it. Okay, so that's an interesting decision. I don't know why I pushed those guys over. I guess just trying to see what I could do. They've got, or maybe that MLRS survived actually. We just killed a, what's it called? That's already started shooting, so it's not worth me shooting. Also, yeah, we are resupplied. %90 of the way there. Good opportunity to take out some helicopters. And my Leopard 1 gets destroyed because we couldn't kill off their ATGM fast enough, but we'll get 2 helicopters, or at least one of them. Maybe somebody else got the other one, I don't care. As long as it's dead. We're not going to kill the MiG-27, but we'll at least keep it out of action for a little bit. And we've got enemy artillery coming in, so it would have maybe been a good chance to counter battery, but yeah, I don't appear to be doing that at the moment. And get parred down sad times. I think I also brought in a supply helicopter and it got shot down by some igla or whatever in the woods here. And this was probably a bad idea, but I kind of just YOLO pushed up this Leopard 2A3 leader, and of course it's going to get hit by a bunch of missiles. So, I mean, we did at least get the T-80 BVK to back off a little bit, but in the long run, I didn't even kill it, and I lost my unit, which we could have capped with eventually. So pretty poor, not even trade-off, just delay there, costly delay, I guess I would sum it up as. We need supply for the Fliegerfaust, which is, I'm not sure what blew up right next to it. Maybe a crashing plane, and they keep trying stuff in the woods. Oh, the T-80 is so close to dead. Jaeger versus one Motostrelka unit. I don't know if maybe they'll bring more over to back it up. And oh, actually, it's just an AA at Kula. Interesting. Well, I think the SAS is shooting it right now. So they're kind of pushing up back here. And yeah, now there's more units. They've kind of cornered my Jaeger and they're toasting them. And they brought that artillery up really far. That's insane. Like, why? You don't need to bring them up nearly that far. That's kind of crazy. I don't know if they hit any of our howitzers or something. That would be, I guess, what I would assume their target would be. I guess that martyr though, good placement. I've got 4 units of the Panzergrens moving up, which is only 20 men, so not super threatening, all things considered. But they've at least got AT weapons, which will be anti-transport weapons as well. That is the Pioneers. I think they're out of their flame ammo though, so. Are they shelling those trucks? Why are they shelling the trucks? It's like, Probably blind firing it into that zone would be more useful than denying them maybe like 20 or 40 points of refund. But oh well, I guess. Or firing there, right? Like you wait a little bit longer, but it'll at least give my Lars a target, a worthy target. Because we've now found my nemesis. I like to get nice views of the salvos starting off. So you can see the Lars has a pretty high dispersion, but when you have two of them firing at once, it increases the density of the explosions pretty significantly. Boom, there we go. We got one. And then a lot of slower artillery is going to be coming afterwards. But, I mean, it probably would have gotten away if it was the artillery. The only other thing that fires this fast, I think, is actually some of the light howitzers from the 82nd Airborne. So I'm kind of thinking about using those eventually. Just also the 82nd is kind of fun to use. It's not nearly as powerful, of course, in the higher player number games. That there's another Grad firing back there. Because you need more like heavy units for the combined arms. But if I could use their garbage light howitzers to kill some Grads, I think that would be pretty funny. Firing time is or the aiming time rather, it's very similar to the Lars, but I would want like 4 to even 8 maybe of those howitzers firing. I guess we'll see if we get there. We get there. And now taking their back zone, we've got the +4 somehow. So, and on the right side too, they pushed up. I totally missed that happening. I just saw that suddenly losing by a huge amount. And on our left, we've got a pretty significant concentration of units. And kill their recon unit on that wood. Push into the forest. Run out of supply again. IHawk is not being very useful in general, where it is, and 6 minutes is probably way too slow for anything useful to really happen on that front. With where I told it to move and to meet up with the supply, unlikely. But the Rozvedka will dice up with the Martyr. But they are building up for a push, unbeknownst to us, but rather predictably also. Although again, given how close it is to our backlines, we've got kind of a lot of units here. Oh, that's a name. Oh my god. I don't think you want to surrender when that's happening, or maybe you really want to surrender when that's happening. Is that missile for me? Yes. So, a bit of a close comeback. My guys have been deleted by that infantry blob, and I guess there's a couple T-80s. One T-80? Pioneer Flam. So, you know, once they get a little bit closer, it's not really going to be... There's not really going to be much significant happening. Do I call this one off? I might call it off, actually, because they're moving out of my strike zone. Actually, less Larsen than I remembered doing. It's interesting in rewatching the replays too, to get those sub-window views, just because I don't pay like super close attention to it, so it's a little bit like you don't really notice what's happening necessarily, unless something is happening. So I notice when there are strikes and what they do. And also, I guess I'm just happy to have killed a bunch of Grads in the end. It's what it comes down to. Kill the Grads, and I'm happy. There's the command tank and another tank. They're going to be getting ready to push pretty soon. And we've got just a few minutes left.
Enemy at 3 o'clock. High. Fire bereit.
And we've got a target. That'll be the Uragan. You can tell because it shoots bigger rockets, much slower. I think I hear Grads shooting too, actually. So, but I'm kind of committed to this already. The aiming's pretty much done. He's running away. We're trying. Didn't make it. Right, so now there's this push, and it does significantly slow us down as far as victory goes if they can hold it. But I've got HE bombs to take out their tank, so there it goes. Boom, last bomb. So with that, we're pretty much guaranteed to win, I think. And also, I'm not 100% sure. I'm like 99.5% sure because I did leave to try to catch the game while it was still technically going on in order to catch it, quote unquote, live, because you can spectate this whole thing. But I mean, we had like I think 30 seconds left by the time I left. Oh, that was a nice bomb right there. And there's no way they're getting into this left side with how much stuff is here at this point. I would think it'd be very hard for us to push back up, but we've also got like the entire middle. We've got the right side. I don't even see a command unit. So yeah, that's going to be this one. Yeah, I surrendered, try to restart, but I don't actually catch any time. Would have been an interesting experiment, I think. But yep, so that's that. That's my grad hunting for that round. Oops, wrong key.